Hey, welcome to Secondhand Blasters. This is Normatico here. And before we get into this video, I have a question for you Nerfers out there. I kind of like to ask this question of any Nerfer I know, so I'm going to ask it to you. It is the Nerf Zombie Apocalypse. What is your weapon of choice from the Z-Strike series? Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, hey, I really love the hammer shot because of the hammer action. I can dual wield it. Some of you might say, oh, I really like the Revoltinator because you have the magazine and it's also a flywheel. You could shoot a lot more darts with that. If I attach a drum to it, I have a lot more ammo available to me. Some of you might say, well, I kind of like the Dreadbolt because it has the range, and also you can stealth kill with a bow and an arrow or a crossbow. Some of you might even say the Slingfire because you just prefer the lever action of it, or the Scavenger for the same reason. Very few of you are going to say the Sledgefire, and I understand why. But tonight, I'm going to see if we can actually do a redemption for the Sledgefire. Now, the Sledgefire itself, it is a unique blaster, so to speak. It does use these shell systems that are unique to the Sledgefire. Even though there are other shell blasters out there, they are not compatible with the Sledgefire for some reason. I'm going to have to say that it's probably because of money. Unfortunately, Hasbro did not release additional shells for the Sledgefire, so you are stuck with what you have when you buy your original Sledgefire, unless you're like me, who has gotten a hold of a couple of them from the Goodwill or from other thrift stores, and you just keep the shells for yourself. Now, the problem with the Sledgefire, though, with these shells, is that it shoots 3 darts at a time, and if you know how a smart AR works, if you activate all 3 at once, you don't get very much distance. In fact, I will challenge you to get more than 50 feet of distance from a straight shot using the Sledgefire. If you can get it without modifying the springs, please leave a comment because I'm really curious, because I am still yet to get that great of a distance with this. The good thing, though, is that you can actually find some mods that can turn your Sledgefire from a, ugh, really? To a, oh wow, I didn't know I could do that. I invite you to go to Etsy. There's a guy there, Sam Miller, and his shop is SM Enterprises, where you can actually pick up one of these. This is one of the shells that is modified with a brass breech, and it is a single shot shell. This will not only increase the performance of your blaster, but it'll also increase the performance just drastically to something that you could not believe that your stock blaster could do it. Now, one thing I will say about this stock blaster, the spring here is very beefy. Some of you might say, oh, well, you can put a K25 spring in there, and you probably can. I'm not going to lie, you probably can. You can do a lot of things, but I wanted to keep this one stock only because of the fact that I prefer a strong stock blaster and treat it more like a sleeper than anything else. Now, what I am going to want to do later on is see if I can actually put some brass tubes in this to see if that might increase the distance when I do a shotgun style blast. Of course, that's not going to be in this video. I will make a video if it is successful. Regarding the actual Sledgefire, though, and the redemption, we are now going to go ahead and put it up in the chrono, and I'm going to shoot not only with the shotgun shells, but also with the modified brass breeched single shots. And now to the chronograph. Alright, so let's go ahead and start doing this with just the shells. Shotgun style. Alright, next we're going to do just one shot in the 3-shot shells. And now for the modified brass breeched single shell. And now for mini ember darts. Next up, we're going to use the Worker Mod Gen 2 darts. And just for good measure, we're going to do the Dart Zone Max Pro mini darts. Alright, so you saw the chrono numbers, and with the shell, not so great. It is sub-elite performance for the most part. Now, when you actually use this little modification, you see just how powerful this blaster is stock. Not only do the standard size darts go really fast, the mini darts break 100 without a problem. Now, up next, we're actually going to take it out to the range because the chrono numbers mean nothing if the darts don't actually fly that far. Now to the range. Alright, so the sun's starting to set here in Ohio, which means the zombies are going to start coming out, and I got to see just how I'm going to defend myself with the Z-Strike Sledge Fire. We're going to do a few shots. I'm going to do the sledge shots here, doing a straight one. We're going to do an angled shot, and then I'm going to switch to my modified shell and see if we can do an angled shot with standard elite darts and mini darts and see how well I can protect myself from the zombie hordes. I'm going to go ahead and recover the darts and wait for the infographic. You'll see just how far we were able to defend ourselves from the zombie horde. Okay, so I am back from the range, and I will say that I was very impressed with this simple modification. I cannot believe how far I was able to get one of the mini darts to go, and one of the standard size elite darts. That's just bonkers to me. The fact that we went over 100 feet with this thing is amazing. Unfortunately, when it comes to what the actual blaster is for, which is a shotgun, the performance does suffer drastically. Again, I did get to hit technically 50 feet. However, that was the tail end, and by the time it hit the 50 feet, the darts were actually pretty much on the ground. So I guess I'm going to be shooting a zombie in their foot, which does not incapacitate it. Go for the brains. With an arc shot, of course, I was able to get to 60 to 65 feet. But again, that spread is so wide that it's really not good. However, I do stand by this. And I think I only paid about $13 for the entire thing, which is actually quite a bargain because you can find these at your local area thrift stores, and they're not that expensive. You can go on eBay, you can try to find them there. Facebook Marketplace, I see these a lot. So if you see somebody that's getting rid of this for like $5, $10, or if they sell it as part of a bundle where they're like, hey, I have 20 Nerf guns for $50. Go ahead and pick it up. Go to Etsy, grab one of these, put it inside, and enjoy. You have an instant sleeper blaster. What do I think about this one now? This is my weapon of choice besides the hammer shot. In fact, I would say that I would go with this one as my primary, the hammer shot as my secondary. If this one was not available, I personally would go with the sling fire, and that is how I would take care of the zombies in the Nerf Zombie Apocalypse. Until next time, this is Normatico. Thank you for watching Secondhand Blasters. Keep on blasting.